Welcome back to another episode of Appraisal Adventures. Here we go. So, we're in the bag of the non-silver that I think is probably going to be close to face value, although this is a proof frosted dime. So, I'm going to be looking through these and seeing what they are. Oh goodness. What happened to your face? Huh. Anyways, we got dimes. Got a whole bag of $50 that should be 70 and non-silver. Looks like we got a couple Susies, some Sacagaweas, and presidential dollars. I'm not expecting much more than face value off of these, but that's what these videos are for, so I can let you know. So with the Susies, we're looking for a wide rim on a 1979 P. This is a 1979 D. So it's in decent shape, but these things don't go for much over $1, maybe $1.10. And since she's only got 3 of them, unless there's a wide rim in here, I think she should just spend them. It's going to be more trouble than it's worth. Let's see, there's a P, but that is not a wide rim. Wide rims are almost touching. So you look down here near the 1, and that rim will almost be touching. And the last P. 1979, and the rim is nowhere close. Alright, so those you can spend $3. Woohoo! Alright, on to the Sacagawea coins. So, we've got this beautiful 2007 P. So there's no errors with this date. But it's a stunning coin. Numista, if it's uncirculated, which this looks uncirculated, lists it for $243. So I'd say start a bid around $225 or so, and we'll see where it goes. These are 2001 Ds. Both not looking in terribly great shape. And I'm finding that most of the Sacagaweas that aren't in great shape, you can spend them. So there's $2 more for the spend bucket. These are also 2001s, but they are in great shape. These are Philadelphia mints. Both of them. This is the best looking one. Really shiny, kind of hard to see on the camera well. Any of the scratches are seeing are from the holder. But when they're in really good shape, they go for $2. So start those out around $2. And then we have some 2000 Ds, which is not the year of the Cheerio Dollar or the Wounded Eagle. Or sorry, it's not the mint of those. Those are in Philadelphia. So these are well worn, spending money. And this is a 2000P, well worn. But if you have an error, it might be worth more. So let's look in here. So, first off, the Cheerios dollar is if the tail feathers are more detailed, which these are not. And then the Wounded Eagle is a dye error right across the breast and a little bit on the wing. And we are not having that on this coin. So, no errors in the Sacagaweas, but you got some nice looking ones here. And so those will go for $2 a piece, probably. The rest is spending money. So you got, let's see, 5 Sacagaweas to spend, and 3 to sell. I lied, there was one more Sacagawea. This one's a 2010. It's upside down. Philadelphia. And this is the Great Law of Peace Treaty. And this is in spectacular condition. Numista still only lists it for like 236 for about uncirculated or 243 uncirculated condition. So yeah, let's start at 225 and see where it goes. So I just finished going through all the presidentials. Lots of great condition coins, but none of them were the newer ones that had lower mintages. About 2012 was when they started doing lower mintages. Everything else before that was at least 30 million or so. But I did find two that were more circulated and thus probably only worth spending money at this point. So I'm going to stick those in the bag. But the rest of these, I listed them for $1.50 because they're in great condition and somebody might want them for a collection. 6 of the dimes are just plain spending money. There's 60 cents to the bag. The frosted proof. Numista lists this at about $2.10. So start this at $2 and you should be good. This is probably just spending money, but it kind of looks like the copper is showing through on the inside. It's a little interesting. You'd try to get a little bit more than 10 cents out of this, but I'm not sure it's worth it. It does look pretty cool. So you remember this thing? Well, I looked into it, and it's a capped die strike error. And we got great looking backside here, but you can see on the edges. Let me see if I can zoom in. That rimmed edge is where the die has started to make a cap. So whenever it goes up and down, it starts to make a cap around that die that's coming down and punching Roosevelt's face. Well, and sometimes it'll get stuck. So I found that this is selling for at least $40. So here's all the halves, all the Kennedy halves that aren't silver, organized. And the only varieties I saw that might be worth something are the 72D, missing an FG on the reverse. So let's see if we have any of those. These are the 72Ds. That one looks scratched up. So, are any of these missing FG? No, right there underneath the eagle leg. Right there underneath the eagle leg. Right there underneath the eagle leg. So, no 72 FGs. And then the other one was the DDO, double die obverse of the 74D. So here's our 74D. And I've heard that you look close to trust. And we'll see what we got here. I don't think that's a DDO. So, everything else we got in this pile is pretty common. I'd say, unless they're in perfect condition, you can try selling them for 75 cents a piece. It might not be worth it. It might just be worth it to spend it. But if they're in an uncirculated condition or close to that, they're worth probably about $2 a piece. So, we'll see you later.